quit your 9 to 5, travel the world, virtual assistant businesses in 4 months or less. Why? Because every day I am pulling every single student out of virtual bed and I'm like, work on your business. Hey, Laptop Freedom Babes, Wanderlust.
This is Hello from Greece.
Hello. Hello, Wanderlusters. It is Rebecca here. Welcome to Cocktails and Coaching. There is no cocktail tonight because last night Rebecca's cocktails were a little too strong and she tried to limbo, which she's never ever been able to do, and I can't even lift my leg up. Anyway, I have a big scratch on my knee. So I'm not having a drink tonight. Don't limbo unless you can, no matter how much liquid courage you have. I'm fine. My ego is more bruised than my knee. But there you go. Okay, hello everyone. Hi, Katie. Thank you for popping on. If you are here for today's Cocktails and Coaching, please say hi in the comments. I love to see those amazing faces. If you're catching the replay, put hashtag replay so I know to come in and support you and see if you have any questions. Now, if you're drinking a cocktail, take a big gulp, because today's Cocktails and Coaching, I'm going to get a little... I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, but not necessarily what you want to hear. And to be totally honest, in the Laptop Freedom Program, I coach the Laptop Freedom Program, obviously. This, I think, is one of my greatest gifts to all the students. I'm able to really go in there and be like, hey, you're doing great, you're doing awesome, but here is what you need to do. And I know you don't want to hear it necessarily, okay? So, speaking of the Laptop Freedom Program, enrollment is open for the cohort that starts mid-August. And ladies, I am never running semester cohorts again. I didn't even know this until like a month ago. But if you are thinking of joining the Laptop Freedom Program and you have been attracted to the whole cohort style, how we do it in 4 months with a cohort, with coaching calls, with a private community, etc., you have to join this next one because it's never going to look like that again. Okay, so let's dive in. I want to talk to you about the number one reason why you just can't seem to start your virtual assistant business. Drum roll, please. You're not making it a priority. You are not making it a priority. When you are investing time into starting a virtual assistant business, you have to rearrange your priorities, okay? Your top 5 priorities, list them off right now on your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Family's probably in there. Your work, which provides you a roof, shelter, and food, is probably in there. And then your virtual assistant business, which is going to transform your life, unleash your freedom, unlock all sorts of flexibility because you're able to work for yourself and expand. That has to be in like top 5, if not top 3 of your priorities. That means that when you are investing the time and energy and you really want to start your virtual assistant business, you're going to have to say no to trips. You're going to have to say no to dinners. You're going to have to say no to birthday parties. You're going to have to say no to a few other things, but only for a short amount of time, right? Because the goal is that once you have a virtual assistant business up and running, you have that flexibility, you have that freedom, you're going to be able to say yes to all of those things back and more. Now, I may have struck a chord with a couple of you and you're like, there's no way. Rebecca, screw you. Of course I'm making starting my virtual assistant business a priority. And I'm here to say it's not a high enough priority if you are not working away on it every single day. Every single day. Not when you feel like it, not when you have an opening in your calendar. You have to create time. You have to move things out of the way while you're starting and working away on your virtual assistant business if you really want to get it going. One of our greatest things inside the Laptop Freedom Program is that we can help women create full-fledged, full-time, quit your 9-to-5, travel the world, virtual assistant businesses in 4 months or less. Why? Because every day I am pulling every single student out of virtual bed and I'm like, work on your business. How have you worked on your business today? What are your goals this week? Did you do this homework? Are you chipping away at it? What have you done today? I'm working on the business. No one gets to give up. No one gets to come back to it later. It doesn't get to be pipe dreams anymore. Your virtual assistant business gets to be your reality today. And so you have to start taking real action on it today. So one of the nice things when you say yes to a program like the Laptop Freedom Program, right, has like a start date. It's like going back to college. It's a semester. It's 4 months. We have a start date. We have scheduled coaching calls. What you get to do is you get to put that in your calendar, and then you get to tell all your friends and family, hey, I've gone back to school. I've joined the Laptop Freedom Program. It starts on Monday, and I am in it for 4 months. So then what does everyone else do? They're like, great, we'll support you. We'll rearrange. We'll leave you alone for 4 months. Let me take some of those tasks off your plate. Maybe I can help you out with the household responsibilities. Maybe we can carpool and get the kids to school. Maybe we can, right? Like, how can we help you in these next 4 months? Because you have joined the Laptop Freedom Program. But what if you don't want to join the Laptop Freedom Program? What if you don't want to join a program? What if you want to, on your own, start your virtual assistant business? Then you have to treat it like you have gone back to school. You have to commit the time. You have to prioritize your VA business as if you have invested your money into it. Right? That is the power and the energy of investing in yourself, is you're like, oh, crap, I better take this seriously because I've actually put money towards this. And so I need to match that financial investment with my energetic investment, my time investment, my commitment, my mind power, my growth, my desire to make this happen in 4 months or less. You can start a virtual assistant business in 4 months or less, but it has to be a priority. If you have been thinking of starting a virtual assistant business, or you have been somewhat working on your virtual assistant business for more than 4 months, it's probably not a priority. Now, you might be like, hey, Rebecca, I hear you. I hear you 100%, but I've got ailing parents, I've got kids, I've got a divorce I'm going through. So it is a priority, but it's actually number 6 on the priority. Cool. Then it might take you longer. But what I don't want you to do is ask yourself, this is so frustrating. Why can't I get a virtual assistant business up and running? If you can't be totally honest with yourself where it is on your priority list. It would be so great if a VA business fell from the sky right into our laps. But in fact, we wouldn't know how to run it if that happened. We'd be like, what is this thing? It just fell in my lap. I suddenly have clients and they're paying me to do things. And I literally just woke up yesterday. You have to build it. And it is like a boulder. It is like pushing a boulder. If you know this analogy, you know exactly what I'm going to say next. It is so hard to get the boulder moving from a stopped position. But once it's rolling, it starts to create its own momentum. And I have witnessed this. I have gone through it myself, and I have witnessed this with so many students who go through the Laptop Freedom Program. They are pushing and shoving. Their heels are in the ground. They're sweating buckets. All of their energy is up against this boulder, and they are this far away from quitting and tossing in the towel. And I say, don't quit yet. It has to remain a priority. You have to trust me. And then the boulder starts to move. The boulder starts to move. They're booking discovery calls with clients. They're landing clients. They've got paying clients. The clients start to refer them to other clients. Now they've got more clients and referrals than they can handle. So now they're raising their rates or they're expanding their skill sets. It is a self-generating boulder that starts at a completely stopped position. And the difference between those who dream of a VA business and either make and don't make it happen, and those who do, are the ones that made it their priority to shove and push that boulder every single day. If that meant they had to miss a camping trip, they had to miss a dinner, they had to ask their partner to take on some of the responsibilities because it's only for a short amount of time. And then the boulder starts to generate its own engine. It becomes way easier to push. Now you're quitting your 9-to-5. Now you're working from home. Now you can take back all these responsibilities that you paused for 4 months and more, because you have the flexibility and freedom that you were working so hard for. Right? What do we learn about putting money into the stock market? You got to put the money in, right? And then you have to wait. You have to wait for that money to generate money. If you put your money into the stock market and then the stocks went up a couple points and you're like, I made $1, and you pulled it out, you'd have only made $1. But if you left it in there and you let it generate money, and then maybe that time you earned $1, you put that dollar back in. Now you've got $1 more, right? And that starts to generate. It's all, we're taught to be patient, but focus and work hard. So to make your virtual assistant business a priority and to work on it every single day, you have to figure out what motivates you. Okay? I'm going to say this again. You have to figure out what motivates you. Believe it or not, money doesn't motivate everyone. Right? It doesn't motivate everyone. And especially if you're working a 9-to-5 and you got money coming in. And you're not lacking money. There's no scarcity there. And so if you're like trying to start a virtual assistant business and work on it every day because you just want some like more money, that might not be a strong enough motivator for you. So you've got to figure out what motivates you, why you want to start this virtual assistant business to a level why that's so deep that you're like, oh, that is so true. That is true. That's the most truest thing I've ever admitted to myself. And then you need to motivate yourself every single day to work on it. Now, what does that mean? I have had students that say, Rebecca, I just cannot sit down and watch your training videos. My mind starts to wander. I get distracted. I just can't. So I said, great, thank you so much for sharing that with me. That's perfect. I've got that piece of information now. Have you tried watching my training videos in the Laptop Freedom Program while cooking? While going out for a walk? Right? We made that shift and she's like, oh my gosh, that was the key. It wasn't it didn't work for me to ask myself to do something that doesn't motivate me. So you're right. We switched it. Does reward motivate you? Will you chip away at your virtual assistant business every day if you dangled yourself a little cookie at the end? A manicure? if you work on it every single day by the end of the week? A glass of wine? Maybe you set yourself up, I will not watch one more episode of that show on Netflix until I've worked away at my virtual assistant business. Maybe that's what motivates you, right? Like, you need to help yourself. You need to set yourself up for success. If you find that you're not working away at your VA business every single day, you don't feel motivated, it's not a priority, but it's something that you do truly want, then it would be really helpful to yourself to figure out what would be most supportive to make it a priority every single day. So figuring out what motivates you, making it a priority. And then I want to end on this one little final thing. You have to take action. You have to take action. Watching training videos on how to use a particular program is good. And then what action are you going to take? Right? If you're watching a training video on how to do an email marketing campaign, then sign up for a free 2 weeks with an email marketing campaign platform and take action. We can trick ourselves into thinking, oh, we are working on our business every single day. We're doing all this busy work. We're like watching more training videos. We're like tinkering away on our website. Busy work, right? Like we feel busy, we're chipping away at something every single day, but it's not actually resulting in us directly achieving a goal, which is finding clients, earning money, being in business as a virtual assistant. So you need to take action. The analogy that I use all the time is, if you want to start playing soccer, you want to be a soccer player, you can watch videos on how to play soccer. You'll probably learn the rules. You'll probably figure out that the sport is based on a ball that you kick with your feet, and that it's team versus team, and it tries to go into a net, right? You can watch all these videos on soccer, try to figure it out, right? And then, what do you do after you watch videos on how to play soccer? You practice. You start going to soccer practice, right? So you go to soccer practice, you start kicking the ball around, maybe you practice some drills, maybe you learn how to deke so you can, take on the goalie. And then what do you do after practice? You go and you play a game. Real life, real time. Okay, so when you are starting to build and chip away and work at your virtual assistant business, I want you to categorize, what phase am I in? Am I in the, I'm watching videos that makes me feel busy, I'm learning the rules, I'm learning that, you kick a ball with your feet, which is all important. And then are you implementing practice? Are you actually implementing these skills that you're learning? Are you actually taking action? Have you built your VA profile? Are you starting to network? Are you reaching out to potential clients? And then when is it a game? Like real time. You're in the soccer game. The score matters. You're getting paid. Right? And that is you having paying clients as a virtual assistant. So starting a virtual assistant business, it has to be a priority. And what you need to do is you need to honestly sit down and take a look at your top 5 priorities and figure out which priority has to be put on hold so that starting a virtual assistant business is in the top 5. It has to be a priority. And then really figuring out what motivates you to work on your VA business every day. so that you're going from watching videos to going to soccer practice to actually being in the game. So, that is my real to you, tough love, number one reason why your virtual assistant business is having such a hard time getting off the ground. And I know this because I have mentored so many women inside my programs, and I know which ones have invested time and energy into starting their virtual assistant business, and it is really high on their list of priorities. And I see the ones that just can't get it up on their priority list, and they let other things come in on top of it, and then it gets buried, and next thing they know, it's been 4 months, it's been 6 months, and they still don't have a virtual assistant business. And they want to blame everything else. They want to blame people not wanting to hire them, blah, 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 blah. And I'm here to say it's your business. It is your reality. And so therefore it has to be your priority. Working for yourself is one of the most empowering things you can do in your life, and you cannot hide from your own boss when you are the boss. Amazing. I'm going to end this here. This is a very interesting Cocktails and Coaching. I knew it was going to trigger some people. I saw quite a few viewers at the beginning, and the number just started to dwindle as I got more and more and more and more revealing. So this one's for the brave. And let me know in the comments if any of that resonated with you, if it's something that you needed to hear, or if you're like, screw you, Rebecca. I never want to hear from you again. And to that, I will say happy hour and